What's good, and welcome to another Industry Insider interview here on the FiveTwenty Collective Podcast. As always, we are being sponsored by the Bookkeeper 24/7. Make sure you check them out at tbk247.com now, where you can get tons of Christian hip-hop information, whether it's music, what's happening in the scene, interviews, podcasts. They got a little bit everything at the Bookkeeper 24/7. They are looking to be a voice in this culture. So make sure you guys go out and support them. It's the Bookkeeper 24/7. Again, it's tbk247.com now. And joining me right now on the Trackstars Podcasting Network phone line, he is the head dog over at UGM Digital. You may have read about him right on FiveTwentyCollective.com. We did an article not too long ago about what they have going at UGM, and I'm excited to just talk about what's popping over there. Right now on the phone line with me, it is Andre Mullen. How you doing, sir?
Hey, sir. How are you?
Man, we are good, man. We were talking before we actually got rolling. You and I connected a while back, kind of like I think when we started, not long after we started 520 anyway. So we've kind of been familiar with each other, and then obviously, our guy Prophet Link was like, man, you need to get just talk with Andre, man, and see what's going on. So all that to say, here we are, man. It's good to have you on the show.
Yeah, man, I'm excited too, man. I've seen the evolution of your platform, and I love some of the great things you guys are doing, and I'm sure there's some really great and cool things you guys have in store. So, just continue to do what y'all do, man. Just happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for people who maybe do not know, I want to dive in just to a little bit of your history, your background, because you've been connected with the Christian rap space for a while. So just give us a brief rundown. Like, how did you get into doing things in this space, and what kind of ventures have you undertaken?
Wow. I've been in this space for a very, very, very long time. I've just been generally in the music industry. Next year will be 30 years.
Wow.
Next year will be 30 years. And but within this space, this genre, this niche that we call Christian hip hop, of those 30 years, it's probably been about 15, 20. I've been around for, it's actually a little more than, it's like 25. But I've been around since the dawn of cross movement, to the passing of the mantle to Lecrae and the formation of Reach Records. I've seen artists go, I've seen artists come. It's been a very, very, very interesting journey within this space to see how things have moved and have grown, and how some artists have kind of faded to black, or just retreaded and just wanted to be more focused on the business side. So it's been a great run, and I believe the best is yet to come. So
yeah, man, you've done a lot of really interesting things. I know. Let's see, you were doing some management at least at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like with artists.
I still do management. I still do manage. I manage a singer-songwriter signed to Sony Music Publishing, Hassan. She is the daughter of Papa San, the gospel reggae great, and her brother is none other than Beam, who recently, for those people that are followers of even some mainstream artists, he's been featured on Justin Bieber's project. He's done some work with Kanye. He's pretty huge.
Yeah.
So
sure.
so I manage Hassan, and I also manage another up and coming artist who was a 2018 Rapzilla freshman. by the name of Shawan. And we're working on some really cool stuff. And I'm really excited about that.
All right, so that's really cool, man. I love, not only what you're saying there with managing the artist, but I mean, we're here at the platform. We're a big fan of Shawan anyway. We've been lucky enough to be able to support him, so definitely looking forward to what is coming on his end. I know this is maybe a little unexpected, but since we're talking about it, I want to throw it out there because, one thing that we are about is just feeding info to independent artists that can help them grow. And one thing I'd really love to hear your thoughts on that we see a lot of is, like, when should an independent artist consider looking at getting a manager? Like what is your just view on that?
So management now is very different from management even 10 years ago. I actually really tell artists that a manager, you need a manager. You really need a manager when you can no longer manage your affairs. Anything that involves your music, everything from reach out to follow up to making sure that certain things are taken care of in a timeline. That's when you may want to really consider having a manager really having a manager. I tell artists though, good managers find artists. Artists typically, a lot of times they find managers that are either inexperienced, or they're just overall bad, and they're ignorant of a lot of music practices. So I'm always really encouraging artists to continue to be diligent in their own affairs, till you get to that place where it's like, man, you know what, I need help. And mostly now, especially with the way that music is now, artists can be effective independently with just a team. You just need a team. Typically, artists that need managers are those that are signed to labels. You need a go-between person. You do. But nowadays, independent artists, I have a lot of friends that are independent artists that don't have management, and they're doing well. They have a team around them that supports them administratively, and it's been great for them. But I think, and then the other thing is too, with a lot of artists now, what they do is they're looking for management to put them on. They're looking for a manager because, I'm trying to get signed here, or I'm trying to get this, I'm trying to get that. And that's not the reason why you get a manager. You don't get a manager. You do not enlist, bring on a manager for the sake of saying, I'm trying to get put on, let me find a manager so he can help me get put on. You're going to regret it heavily.
Wow. And you kind of answered my question there, because, my mind was going to, okay, are there times where you tell people you're making a mistake getting a manager right now? And obviously it sounds like, yes, there is those times, because, yeah, man, that's wild. Like, I think it's probably not just something that happens within the CHH space, right? Like, I mean, we see a lot of stuff because we're in like this little bubble, and it's like, oh, well, this just must be something that Christian hip hop goes through. But I can't believe that that's true on all these things, right? I mean, it's not unique for our space, right?
Right. Yeah. And see, that's the thing is, when it comes to, even now, I am, we're, our other company, which is really our sister company, UGM Digital is, in Access. And what we've been doing is kind of moving away from management for artists and really giving artists access to a team. So we do, on an Access side, we cover label services, music publishing administration, and management. But that management is more of an admin role, because there's a lot of artists that are out here that are really, really talented. Problem is that they really don't know the business as much as they should. But they shouldn't, even though that's quote unquote bad, they shouldn't have to fall flat on their face in order to learn the business. And that's where we come in. Like, I don't want artists to learn the business by the mistakes I made or by the mistakes that I've seen other artists make. I want artists to learn the business and learn it and work with someone or a group of people that can really cushion the fall for them a bit. Everything doesn't have to come through bad experience. Learning doesn't have to come through bad experience and putting your hand in a fire and you get burnt. That's not always the way learning happens. I know learning doesn't happen like that for me. It may have happened like that for me, but I don't want to see anybody else kind of go through that. And so what we're presenting now, even within Access, is kind of a resurgence of the brand, is the ability for artists who are putting out music on DSPs, digital service platforms, for them to really understand that, hey, look, there's money to be made, not just from the DSP. There's money to be made from your publishing. There's money to be made from licensing. And that's what we want to do. As I tell artists, we want to level the playing field, for them. We really want to see them win. And that's what we're here for, man. That's what I'm here for.
That's what's up. So if I'm an independent artist and I'm hearing this and I'm interested in checking out what's going on within Access, how do I go about that? How can I, view what you guys are doing and potentially get connected?
Well, we are on socials. In Access GRP, INAXXSGRP. That's us on socials. Like I said, we're kind of there's a resurgence of the brand. So we've had the lights off in the office for pretty much most of the pandemic. However, there's been some partnerships and some strategic alliances that we've made that's kind of bolstered our ability to really service artists. This is kind of like this is some behind the veil stuff you're kind of getting right now. But we've recently just did a new distribution deal with Vidya, a big company based in New Jersey. So we did a nice deal with them that it gives us an opportunity to really service artists and make sure that they're getting paid from their music the way they should be. And there's some other things that we are working on and we're bringing into the fold that I think is going to be really cool and that could just continue to service artists. And I mean, of course, our platform, UGM Digital, which not only services DJs and producers, but services artists as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And again, guys, joining me on the Trackstars Podcast and Network phone line from UGM Digital and in Access, it is Andre Mullen. And I want to hit on UGM, man, because I think you guys are doing some really cool stuff there. And I'm not sure that everyone, really understands what it's about or what you guys have cooking. Hopefully they've read the article, man, and they got a little bit of an idea.
I hope so too.
For sure. But I want them to hear it from you, man. So, UGM Digital, you guys say it's more than a record pool. So just talk about it from the start, man. Like, how did UGM Digital come to be, and what was the intention behind it?
Wow. It's funny because a lot of, there hasn't been a lot of people that really know about how UGM, how technically we got UGM. We acquired UGM Digital publicly at the top of 2020. However, the year before that, throughout that year, the previous owner of the brand, was reaching out to me and talking to me and like, trying to really get me to believe in the brand. And I have to admit, I didn't. I was actually in management at the time. I was managing a few artists, and the person that was running the brand was like, "Hey, could you get your artists to really, embrace this?" And so I'm like, I just don't see the value, And as a manager managing artists, that's the thing that you look for too. You look for the right fit for the artist, for your client. You're looking for the right fit. And I didn't feel that UGM Digital was the right fit at the time. And fast forward, toward probably like in the summer of 2019, I was working on another project, with a major label, and, I needed a timeout. It was a weekend. I needed a timeout, and I said, you know what? I don't want to look at music. I don't want to hear from artists. I don't want to do none of that. And I think it was Sunday. That Sunday, I remember I was sitting and I was watching TV, and I was like, you know what? Let me look at this UGM Digital thing, man. Let me look at this website. So I looked at the website, and of course, I'm really scrutinizing it and like, but I understood the concept. I got the concept. And that's the thing about what I think good marketers, good brand developers do, is that they're able to quickly see the concept and how to exploit it. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, this could work. So I spoke to the owner, and I said, listen, I'm down to be part of this brand. I said, however, in order for me to be part of this, I need this to be solely owned by the Inaccess Group. Inaccess. And, I'll bring you on as a partner. And he was like, all right, cool. Then a few months later, the pandemic hit. And I had built this team. I was getting this team together, and got folks excited about UGM Digital. However, things didn't really work. The chemistry between me and my partner wasn't there, and he had to go. And I retained the brand, and pretty much the UGM Digital was our quarantine baby. That's the best way to put it. That it was our quarantine baby, and we worked it, we built it. We literally, it was blood, sweat, and tears, man. It really was. And money. It was money. There was that, so everybody out there, if you're thinking that you could just put stuff together with no money, no, that's not how it works. It was money. It was an investment. And so what we did when we first got the brand, there was four genres of music. There was gospel, there was Christian hip hop, there was R&B, and then there was reggae. There was about 300 songs in the pool. 400. I think it was no. It was about 500. About 500 songs. 500 songs in the pool. We first got it. And now, as of today, we are well over 2,000 songs in the pool. There are 12 different genres. There are 8 different playlists. There are 6 different curated playlists. There's mood playlists. The site is definitely we have some great relationships with labels, Reach Records, Good City Music, Elected Recordings. We're one of the only DJ record pools. Now there's a lot out here, so I'll say that we're the only DJ record pool we're one of the only DJ record pools that has full service packs or DJ packs where we have the instrumental acapella and full version of a song. All our songs are ID3 tagged, complete with metadata. And we don't just consider ourselves, and this is why UGM Digital, UGM standing for Unlocking Good Music. That's what it stands for. Why we're more than a record pool, because what has happened with us is that we're not just looking for records that are 100 BPM over and over. We are a curator of music. So consider us like a digital record store where you would literally go, you flip through vinyl or you flip through CDs, like, oh my gosh, they got this record. Oh, snap. Yeah, let's take it home and listen to it, da-da-da-da. That's what we're like.
Yeah.
That's what we're like.
And then for people who maybe aren't familiar with just your traditional DJ record pool, I mean, this is a place where DJs can sign up and they can go and get music, right? I mean, for people who are thinking that, oh, well, DJs are just going to iTunes or whatever and buy music. No, that's not exactly how it works. It doesn't work like that. And see, here's the thing. When we did our due diligence with asking DJs about how they got their music. And DJs was honest with us. They told us they were getting their records from one or two ways. Either they were going the legit route and getting downloads from Amazon or iTunes, or they were going to YouTube and ripping music. And because what was happening is that artists weren't giving them music. See, in the traditional DJ pools, the way they work, labels would send DJ pools records. Oftentimes, before their records were even released, they would send them for marketing and promotional purposes to get a buzz around a record. But with the onset of digital, and now download is the type of thing where that's coveted. That's like, hey, look, I'd rather have somebody download my music and then I'll get, my little, money from it. So DJs weren't getting that, and labels were not sending DJ pools records anymore because the music industry, as far as the revenue from music sales, was becoming more fragmented. So yeah, there really wasn't a real destination for DJs to say, hey, I'm gonna get my music from here. So what we did is, and what we really even believe to this day, DJs still break records. We believe that. We believe that DJs still break records.
Are we saying that Spotify doesn't break records? No, we're not. We know that each of these platforms have a role to play in the breaking of records, just as we know DJs have a role to play in breaking records. And so that's what it is that we stand by. Is that, hey, look, get your records to our DJs or get your records to us, and we can get it to DJs that are looking for a destination place where they can get access to it, and they have access to it.
Yeah, and I found it really interesting because, like you said, with the shift in music to the digital formats, that we're all accustomed to now, obviously it changed the entire way that it was consumed, the way that artists had to think. But, talking with a handful of DJs that I know, a few of them affiliated with UGM Digital, it's still clear though that this is a lot like radio, right? Where artists are missing an opportunity. Like if you're especially an independent artist and you're trying to make a name for yourself, you need your music to be everywhere, not just on Spotify.
Everywhere.
Right?
Exactly.
So let's talk about the artist side of it, because obviously, you hit on the brands that you work with, a little bit there. You talk about Reach Records, Good City, that they're, getting their music to you guys, right? But you also have this like stable of DJs just waiting for artist music to become available through your platform, and you don't have to be a Reach Records artist to get your music there. Right?
No, you do not.
So talk about it from the artist perspective. Like how do you utilize UGM Digital as a tool, and what's the benefits that it does for artists?
Well, the funny thing here is that when we were figuring out how we were going to get music, I have a lot of artist friends and some relationships with some great artists that people know and love, but I know that there's a lot of new up and coming independent artists out here that are really wanting to. They really want to have an opportunity to be seen and heard. And when we first was going through this and figuring this stuff out, if you look at other DJ record pools, typically artists, in order for artists to submit their music, they have to pay. And that was one of the things that was first presented to me, like, yo, how about, artists should pay? And I was like, no, we're not having artists pay. And my thought process about it was very clear and very simple. Let's say you are a DJ and you hit us up and you say, hey, yo, do you guys have this song by this artist? And I'm like, nah, we don't have it in the pool, but we're going to try to get it. Now, here I go. If an artist had to pay to submit, here I go. I reach out to that artist and I say, hey, look, would love to have your music in the pool. You should definitely consider putting it in the pool. And they're like, oh man, wow, that's great. Yeah, I put it in. Okay, it costs X amount of dollars. So now that artist says, oh man, like, I can't just give it to y'all. I just can't put it in the pool. Nah, man, it's going to cost this because you're going to get the exposure to the DJs. So the artist turns around and says, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. So now 3 people are at a loss. The artist, the DJ is at a loss because he's not able to get the music that he wanted so that he could play at his next party, that he could play on tour, that he could put in his radio playlist. The artist loses because they don't get the exposure, And the pool loses because we don't get a DJ subscriber. So it's a loss all around. So I said, nah, we're not going to have artists pay to have their music submitted. We're going to give artists an opportunity to submit their music. We A&R that process though. So what we do is, and what I mean by A&R is that we actually are selective in that. So I personally, you know, I get a heads up from our DJs about music. I'm on Instagram, seeing who's posting about what, who's talking about what. I'm on Spotify. And then, you know, I'll reach out to an artist about a record and say, hey, look, you know what? I like this record. Send it to us. Let's see how it does in our pool. Let's see what the response is like. And then, of course, obviously, if the response for the music is good, then yeah, I'm going to ask for more. I'll give you some examples. Like, we've had artists like, everybody knows Miles Minnick. We've had one of his first records in the pool. And man, you know, the DJ's like, hey man, yo, this record is this. So we get music from Miles Minnick. There's another group. There's a group called the Agape Music Group. We got one of their records put in the pool. The record did amazing among our DJs. So we get music from, like, hey, look, send us some more music. Another artist by the name of A. Ruiz. We reached out to her. Hey, send us one of your records. Send us a record. Hit the pool, and man, and you know, it's funny because again, these three artists that I mentioned, their sound is distinct. The BPMs of their music is all different, and yet they do well in the pool. And so it just goes to show that the diversity of our record pool is amazing. We even have a DJ in Ghana, goes by the name of DJ Christcentric, who sends me records. 2 weeks ago, he sent me some African drill music that was just, oh my gosh, it's like my new favorite thing now to listen to. So we get so much. We're building up our Latin side, you know, a Latin genre of music. You know, of course we have a huge amount of Christian hip hop, but we also have genres that people are not really familiar with. Moombahton, which is a fusion of reggae music, reggaeton, and EDM. So we're steadily building that. It's just we are becoming the definitive source for music curation of clean, positive, and faith-based music. That's what we're doing.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And, you know, I wrote it in the article. Again, if you have not read the article, go to FiveTwentyCollective.com and check it out. But I put, you know, for an artist, like you said, there's no cost. The only thing that you're investing is some of your time, right, to fill out the form on the site and get your music sent in. So it's a no-brainer. You know, we talked about, you have this collection of DJs that you guys work with closely. Who are some of the DJs that you guys have that's a part of UGM? Because I know people are going to recognize the names.
Yeah. So the great thing about what we've done is we also have a partnership with Mixcloud, where we are featuring mix shows from DJs. We are WUGM Radio. You can find us on Mixcloud at UGM Digital. You can just search that. But we have some phenomenal DJs we work with. We work with the legendary DJ iRock Jesus, DJ Sean Blue, the $6 Million Man. We DJ Transformed, Mr. CSA 2K, Dilemma, who is a Grammy nominated producer. He just won a BET award for Album of the Year for Jasmine Sullivan. His work on her project. He gives us mixes. Christ-centric, DJ Overdose, DJ Overflow. You know, they literally hook us up with music, and we're just growing. We're continuing to grow. One of our favorites, the none other than producer Jimmy Rock. You know, who is like, he's the remix king.
Right. Shout out to Jimmy.
And those, you know, yeah, you know, and you know, he has truly been one of us, rocking with us since day one. DJ Tony Tone, my good friend, you know, I've known for many years. DJ Standout, DJ Justified. There's so many that we've continued to really, you know, we really continue to build and cultivate relationships with. And of course, we're adding, you know, we're always looking for DJs to just continue to help grow our community and continue to push the agenda forward, which is, you know, to demonstrate that DJs really do break records, and that we unlock the music. So
yeah, and then not only do you work with these DJs, but you also have partnerships in place with like radio as well, right? I know that you and Clear Hits Radio recently announced a partnership. So I mean, that's another bonus for artists.
Yeah. Shout out to my man Caleb Williams over at Clear Hits. Love that brother. Really cool guy. What was happening with radio with us was that we have quite a few program directors and music directors that are part of our site, are part of our platform. And every week we put out a chart called the Crate Top 30. And that chart literally presents our top 30 downloads for that week. And what started happening, because I wanted to do this chart because I really felt that labels and other executives and radio and other platforms really needed to see how we were dealing with music on our site and how it was being tabulated. And for the record, that chart is clearly not based on how I feel or how my co-founder feels or how anyone feels. It is literally data driven. It is not based on, ooh, you know what? I like Miles Minnick this week. Let's make him number one. No, it is literally based off of our DJs and really what's tabulated. And when I started doing the chart, we started putting out the chart. What I saw was, I noticed that when we dropped the chart, the following day, we had this uptick in radio people downloading music that was on the chart. I was like, oh, this is cool. So I became very interested and centered on developing our relationship and relationships with radio. And so I reached out to what started as a initial reach out to a couple of stations began to snowball into some things. And Caleb Williams, you know, he hit me up and he was like, man, thank God for your site. I can find music for our station. And, you know, I was like, man, listen, man, let's talk. So we got to talking, and that's where we started seeing how we can, you know, continue to work with each other and work to build not only his platform, but to give some more, another platform for artists to be able to monetize their works. And we have some other stuff that, you know, like that we've done, like, you know, because we just launched our a couple of weeks ago, we launched our promo services for artists. So now we are, man, that has me super excited too, because we work with a company based in Houston called Digital Radio Tracker. Shout out to Digital Radio Tracker and Michael Matthews there. And they literally have helped us grow our radio promotions part of our servicing. So artists that are really serious about radio promo, we do it.
That's what's up. So I know I asked it about In Access, but I'm going to ask you again on UGM. So I'm an artist. I'm listening to what you're saying. I like it. I want to get involved. I want to make sure you've got my music. What's that look like? What do I need to do?
Simple. You can go to ugm.digital. And we have a tab there for artists. That tab will take you to all of our services for artists, including submitting your music. We have a strict submission process. Everything that we get hundreds of submissions a week. We do not take hundreds of submissions. I can tell you quite honestly, of the hundreds of submissions a week we get, we probably take a third of them, you know? We take pride in that we unlock good music. So we got a reputation to keep out here. So we want DJs to get good music from us. We don't want DJs to get so music from us. We don't want DJs to get so right music from us. We want DJs to get good music from us. So we go through a process of making sure that we have good music to deliver.
That's what's up. So make sure you guys go to the site again. It is ugm.digital and just see where it can go, man. It's not going to hurt you. I can promise you that. So
I tell people, I say, listen, shoot your shot.
Exactly.
That's what you need to do. Shoot your shot.
Yeah, man. And you guys are actually shooting your shot a little bit. Something that's cool that's happening over on Clubhouse that you guys have been doing is UGM Digital's hosting a show called BPM and Key right there on Clubhouse. Talk to us a little bit about the show, man. Like, what's going on with it?
So it's funny because BPM and Key. So shout out to my co-founder, man, Drea Mancarini. She's like the other pair of hands of mine, and she also is the one too that, you know, kind of kicks me in the butt and like, hey, look, yo, we should try this. Like she's like that, you know. And so what happened, right, is I had been deliberating how to really go about doing this, being involved in Clubhouse, you know. And it just didn't work. Like I was so unmotivated. I guess that's the better word. And so, you know, I was always kind of like trying to figure out, oh, maybe we'll try something there. Maybe we'll try something there. And then I got to a point where kind of what fell in line, and I have to, and also too, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you and FiveTwenty Collective, Eric, because y'all put the battery in my back too. Because when you guys wrote that article, it was that same week that I was like, you know what? I need more people to know about UGM Digital. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this press conference, so to speak, on Clubhouse. And, you know, kind of get the things rolling, you know, like that. That idea morphed into me reaching out to a good friend of mine, who, of course, I got to give a shout out to, Mr. Derek Huggins of the Indie Artist Help Desk. And I call him the HBIC, the head brother in charge, on Wednesday night. And his club, the Indie Artist Help Desk, is now closing in. Within the first 3 months, he was at 650 members on Clubhouse. And I talked to him about UGM Digital. He loved the idea, concept, and then we came to this place. So I said, you know what? I would love to do a room in your club, you know, on one of the other off nights. And we turned around, we worked it out, and we created a Clubhouse room called BPM and Key. And the significance of BPM and Key in the DJ space, and just in the music space in general, is that when the BPM, which is in every sense of the word, the tempo, the speed of a record, and the key are in sync, it makes for a great sonic experience, right? So I looked at it as the pieces that most artists, DJs, and producers deal with. They deal with the creative side, right? And they deal with the business side. So if both of those are in sync, then what happens is people can better accept, receive, and see the best experience of music, the best experience of a mix, the best experience of a production. So that's why it's called BPM and Key, because our goal is to help indie creatives find success or be successful by merging their creativity and business. So that room happens every second Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard on Clubhouse. Man, listen, if there's any artists that are really, really even just creatives that are really wanting to broaden their scope, really understand why they do what they do, yeah, you need to come to that room, because I'm just bringing everybody I know, as far as people to talk to, people that can just continue to pour out. Bottom line is, I just want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody win.
Yes, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yeah, make sure you guys hop on that. You said it's the second Wednesday of every month,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right.
So our next one is September 8th, and I got somebody lined up for that. It's gonna be powerful. So
that's what's up.
You don't want to miss it.
That's what's up. So, man, Andre, I am glad that you were able to take some time and hop on to the podcast with us. It's really cool seeing what's happening with UGM Digital, man. And you guys are, even since we wrote the article, you guys have, expanded and grown. And so I know there's more stuff that's coming, man. So I'm excited to see what God is able to put just like in your vision and turn that into reality. Because I know it's going to be cool stuff that's going to help not just DJs, right? Not just artists, but it's going to help the culture as well. And it's going to help push what is going on in our space out to a wider audience. So, man, that's awesome. Thank you for doing that. 100%.
Man, thank you, man. But thank you for platforms like yourself too, man. I gotta give it up, man, because there are ultimately what there isn't is there aren't enough platforms for us to really showcase and demonstrate faith-based music, period. And that's why we're here, man. That's why we do what we do. And the more there's enough room out here. There's enough room out here. There's so much room out here. And that's, as long as we all find our voice and our lane, then you see how we work together. So, we just, man, like I tell people all the time, I'm just working, man. I'm just working. As I always say too, we're hashtag all gas, no brakes. So that's where we at.
There you are. And where do people follow you, man, and get the latest on what you got going?
Well, as always, our brand UGM Digital is across all socials as that UGM Digital. You can also follow me on socials, Dre Boogie, DREBOOGE. And of course, be on the lookout for an access because we got a heavy fourth quarter coming, and we're releasing some music from people y'all know and love. So, and some you don't know. But definitely, in access is INAXXSGRP. Make sure you follow us and stay connected.
100%. Andre's been great talking to you, man. I'll be looking forward to getting you back on, man, as stuff continues to grow and find out, the latest. So don't be a stranger.
For sure.
So don't be a stranger.
I won't be, sir. I won't be. Make sure you won't be either.
We'll be here. We'll be here. Guys, again, go check it out. The website is ugm.digital. And support what's going on. If you're an artist, get your music sent in, and you don't know, it could be exactly what you're looking for to take that next step. So go and take advantage of it. Again, we want to shout out all of our episode sponsors, including the Bookkeeper 24/7. Check them out at tbk247.com, and we will check you guys out on the next podcast.